It is with great honor, great pride, that I bring to the stage someone who, over a lifetime, is deserving of this Lifetime Achievement Award. Martina, please come out here.
I'm not taking a selfie, it's my speech over here. Yikes. Whoa, you know, it's pretty humbling to be here after Michaela. No bitching on the yacht, right? I was complaining because there was no room service in my hotel today, and yeah, perspective. Anyway, this Lifetime Achievement is pretty humbling, pretty the difficult part is making the lifetime of a speech here. Just the other day at the US Open, there was some people that got an award, not in the tennis rules, a tennis thing, but it was an award, and they spoke, I'm not kid you not, 20 minutes. Don't worry, I'm not gonna do that. Even though, lifetime award, I should be able to talk for as long as I want. No, Nancy? No, feel free to start the music, it's okay, I'll go off. You know, I started playing tennis, I was 5 years old, I started hitting against the wall. It took me 2 years before I could get on the real court, because my dad says until you can hit a forehand and hold the racket with one hand, then you can't play. So I started hitting against the wall. It took me 2 years before I was able to get on that real court at 7. At 14, I was a bit of a late bloomer. I finally won the Czech championships at 14, and the federation said to my father, who was my coach, he said, okay, we'll take over now, because she comes to the net too much. And my father said, no, I think we'll be good, thank you. So I think the lesson in that is play the sport or play life the way you want to play it, not the way other people tell you to play it, right? Worked out pretty well for me anyway. By the way, it's amazing to be here with these amazing women athletes. I haven't seen Jackie Joyner for such a long time, Julie Foudy. Ed Tutel Jones, I learned about football watching you play number 72. Mean Joe Green, number 75. Yeah, I used to hate your guts because you played for Pittsburgh. But we're all people, right? Anyway, so so I'll give you a typical day of what my day was like at about 14, 15, going to high school. Get up at 6 in the morning, catch the 6:40 train, get to school at 8, finish at about 1:45, run to the cafeteria, eat lunch with my tennis gear and my school gear, eat my lunch. At 2:02 was the train to Prague. Then I go to Prague, I take tram, 2 trams, and walk about half a mile, play tennis, repeat, go back home, get home about 7:30 at night, repeat the next day at 6. So when kids tell me these days, oh, you know, it's really hard with the social media and everything, we got it really tough. I'm like, really? Again, perspective. But everything changed for me at 18 when I defected, because, you know, to get out of the country, Czechoslovakia being a communist country, you couldn't really speak your mind because you would get in trouble. And you couldn't get out of the country unless the government allowed you to get the visa to get out. So when at 18 they decided that they were going to let me play at the US Open, I'm like 4 in the world, and they don't let me out. And finally they did let me out in the last minute. I realized my life is not my own if I stay here. So I made that most difficult decision to leave my family, leave my country. I couldn't go there. My parents couldn't get out. It was 4 years before I saw my mom. It was 5 years before I saw my dad. I was without a coach for 6 years. 81, I got my citizenship. Actually, I lived here in Dallas. Yeah. Dallas welcomed me. When I defected in 76, I moved here. I bought my first home and got the Yellow Rose of Texas. So I was an honorary Texan, yeah. But in 81 when I got my citizenship, because I could not come out as a lesbian until I got my citizenship, because that would have been a disqualifying thing back then. So once again, when the kids tell me that they have it really difficult, I'm like, yeah. And maybe that is the regret that I do have, that I didn't have a coach for 6 years. It didn't occur to me, because my father was my coach, but we could talk once a month maybe. Anyway, but it was Nancy that made that big step for me, that made me realize that I could achieve a lot more if I just worked a little bit harder. I said, what do you mean work harder? I'm playing tennis, I'm doing this. She took me on the basketball court, had me run a suicide in under 30 seconds. Needless to say, I couldn't do it. I'm like, that's what you're talking about. So it was really Nancy that got me going, got me in shape. Then I got the coach and kind of went from there. But growing up in a communist country, like I said, you can't speak out. So when I defected and I was able to speak my mind, I really did speak my mind. And got in trouble for it, and I'm still getting in trouble for it. But that's okay, because the option of silence is just not an option for me. Silence, right? Silence equals consent. And, I cannot tell you how many times I've been told to go back where I came from, how many times I've been told to shut up and dribble. And I just don't believe in that. I've always spoken out for the little guy, the ones that can't speak for themselves. I think it was in my DNA. Growing up, I would help the old lady across the street. I would save the kids from being bullied. Could never stand bullies, so I've always kind of tried to do my part in speaking out and protecting the ones that can't protect themselves. So thanks to Nancy, I learned how to dribble properly. So I will keep dribbling, but I will never, ever shut up. So I accept this award very humbly, and I really will. I promise that I will keep doing my part to try to make this world a better place. And I also would like for you all to speak out when you see something that's not right. Please do your part, because we are all in this together, and we need to keep pushing that ball forward the right way. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.